Underbank just kind of delivered a score at the right time. Well, the right time for Underbank to make the Oral side kind of feel a little bit deflated and not quite match up to the side that were definitely the better side with much more of the play. It felt like to me from what I saw, but I can't remember who played, so I could be wrong with which way I remembered that round. But that's how it felt to me. I've got to be honest, the Millom and Red Star Belgrade game, I didn't actually watch the full game because I was out on Sunday afternoon. But I think the press that's helped to generate from that, and I just hope we get the same sort of press as well for the Loch Lanes Longhorns kind of situation, for the Edinburgh Eagles, for the Torfian Tigers, for the All Goals being back in the cup, for the London Chargers and the Hammersmith Hills Hoists getting a go, and two of our forces won through, didn't they? The police and the Royal Air Force won through. Unfortunately, the Army and the Navy did not go through, but well done to the police going up to the northeast and winning quite handsomely, and the Royal Air Force against one of the other developing area sides, the North Herts Crusaders as well, a team that is in the development area for the Broncos, so and the Scholars, so there's players coming through from sides like North Herts, and hopefully we get to see that more and more as the years go on. So I think some interesting results in there.
Yeah, definitely.
And that actually leads us on to the Challenge Cup Round 2 draw that was done this evening by George Williams and Mickey Hyam.
He was.
And they drew out the ties, which are going to be played on the weekend of February the 9th and the 10th. As of recording this, I don't think it's been confirmed which games are going to be streamed, but there should be a game on the R League app and a game on the BBC website as well, which is fantastic. So the fixtures are Underbank Rangers versus Featherstone Lions, Wigan St Pats versus the Great Britain Police. I think George Williams drew out a favourable draw probably for his community club there. Thornhill Trojans versus Rochdale Mayfield, Thatto Heath Crusaders against Lee Miners Rangers, Ovenden against West Bowling, Normanton Knights versus Haydock, West Hull versus Bentley, you got to favour West Hull there, Milford Marlins versus Loch Lane, that could be an interesting one, Wafbrow Hornets versus York Acorn. How do you pronounce this one? Drillington? Driglington? Driglington versus Wigan St Jude's, Millom versus Siddle. Siddle are obviously, always one of the sides to be at the community level. Be interested in them travelling up to Yorkshire. Might get to see another streamed game with the picturesque hills in the background. Dissington versus the Royal Air Force, and East Leeds versus Dewsbury Moor in a Yorkshire derby there to round out the cup. Obviously, after this round, it'll be the best of the community game, playing up against the League One sides, won't it, in round 3? So that'll be exciting to see which ones get through and whether we can then get some surprises and upsets the next round of the Challenge Cup.
Yeah, I'll be going to another game again, so I might have to get my poll out again to see where I should go. But
it's only 2 weeks away, isn't it?
It's the week after next. So yeah, I'll be. I haven't quite decided yet. Maybe
whipping your poll out.
Whip it out.
It's going to be Yorkshire-based ones, isn't it? So let's have a look at some of the options whilst we're. I
think one of them might be Thornhill. I think I used to work around there, so I know that area pretty well, and my old boss used to be a big fan there. Or
Normanton Knights, that's a...
Yeah, maybe. Or maybe I put East Leeds last time, so I might put them again because they're at home again.
And against maybe those two. That's a Yorkshire derby.
Maybe Thornhill and East Leeds, maybe. But yeah, I'll get my poll out because I don't want to do it too often. I'll do it. I'll do it next week, and then we can.
Excellent. Everyone
let the family survive.
For that. Yeah. And you control where Alan goes.
Yeah.
Right, that's our Challenge Cup results and draw roundup. So we're now going to move on to our predictions for the first round of Super League, and we'll give our Championship Game of the Week as well. Right, Al, it's the new beginning. It is round 1 of Super League 2019, Super League 24. Some big games to get things started that they've stacked up for us with a couple of big derbies, a couple of games against two of the and a game between the two big spenders. The marquee men are going to come up against each other as well. So let's start with the game of the round on Thursday night, 7:45 p.m. kickoff on Sky. Sky's build up to this starts around, I think, 6 or half 6. They're going to do a bit of a Super League season preview. So if you are watching this on the TV rather than getting down to the ground, then check that out. And it's St Helens versus Wigan, the league leaders from last year, versus the Super League champions from last year. This is a tough one to call. I'll let you have first dibs.
Okay, so I'm going to go with the home team here. I don't think either. I don't know in terms of pre-season how many games either of these two have played. Actually, I don't know how ready they're both going to be.
Wigan have played 3 public pre-season games, only one where it was really the first team played, and Saints, I believe, have done similar. The only game really where the first team played was the whole game. Yeah,
so they might be both coming in kind of, trying to use the game as a bit of a tone-up kind of thing. But I reckon Saints by 4 for me. Just I think it'd be pretty low scoring with it being early season. What about you?
I've swung both ways on this one. I think both teams in their press conferences, a joint press conference, really novel and cool to see. They both sort of come out talking a little bit around potentially focusing more on defence at this stage of the season, probably because they know it's going to be freezing cold, and it might affect like the ability to handle and stuff like that. Saints have got a few new parts in there. Wigan not so much, but are missing 2 key parts from last year. I'm going to edge Wigan, because if Danny Richardson doesn't play like Saints have sort of hinted, then Wigan, I think, with Zach Hardacre, have got a more reliable goal kicker. So I'm going to go Wigan by 2 in a close one.
Okay.
Friday night, 7:45 p.m. Castleford versus Catalans. This is an interesting one. I'm going to plump for home field advantage, just Castleford by 4, and I'm doing that virtue solely on what I've heard, the positive stuff coming out of the pre-season games, that actually the halves situation has worked quite well and everyone's shown up okay in terms of that position, and home field advantage. The home field advantage weights the coin in their favour, cast by 4.
Yeah, apparently I'm a secret Cast fan now, so I'm not going to.
But you were Catalan for a day at Wembley, so it's very tough for you, isn't it?
Yeah, I'm going to stick with you. I'm going to stick with home advantage. I think Castle just get over the top of them. I've got Cast by 10.
Fair enough. Okay, Friday night, 7:45 p.m. I'm going to go down to this game with my little brother Matt. Huddersfield versus Salford. Interesting one. Where do you land on it, Al?
It is. I think this could be very close. I don't think there'll be much in any of these games this weekend, actually. But third time, I'm going to go home advantage for no particular reason other than the fact they're at home. Cowbell and all, hopefully. Huddersfield by 8.
Fair enough. I watched Salford not that long ago, and I do have a little bit of question about the fitness of a couple of their players, if I'm being brutally honest. I think this might be one of the higher scoring games of this round, because I think Huddersfield are going to try to be more attacking and Salford kind of have no option, but I just think 17 for 17 Huddersfield, just edge. I've got Huddersfield by 12.
Okay.
Friday night Sky televised game is the Hull derby, Hull Kingston Rovers versus Hull FC. So the Robins at home in this one. I think that home advantage will tell. I also think Hull FC have got a little bit of concern with Jake Connor missing the game, and I think Albert Kelly isn't right to play. If I'm right, maybe I'm wrong, but I just think they've got a bit of a question there. There seems to be some disruption in the squad around the wing positions, so that's a concern, and they still haven't got all their forwards back into fitness. I think Hull KR are going to be in better shape going into this one, and I expect the Robins to win by 10.
Who's hosting next week?
Who's hosting next week?
Yeah.
Oh, I think it's Tim, but do you know what? To be honest, I've completely forgotten.
I'm just checking if the curse is still live.
Well, the curse can only be live. Oh yeah, no, Oh, it's definitely not Sarah. I deliberately didn't put her that week because I didn't want her not hosting any other shows, especially now she's found some fire and started causing ruckus with the with the Toronto fans. I wanted to no, it's Tim next week, definitely.
Tim next week. Okay, well, even so, I'm going to go for Tim's lot then. I'm going to assume they can keep floodlights standing and lit, and they're going to squeak it. But I'm going to make an outlandish prediction and say that this is going to be the first golden point match of the season, and Hull KR are going to win it by 1.
Ooh, who's kicking the golden point then? Drinkwater?
That's not a bad shout, is it?
He's got a Leeds pass record, hasn't he? They don't kick goal.
Yeah, go on. Why not? Hull KR by 1. Drinkwater.
Speaking of Leeds, Saturday 5:15 p.m. another game on Sky. We have got the treat of 3 Super League games on Sky this weekend, and we've got a Championship game, mustn't we? Have Toronto at York on Sunday as well. So Warrington host Leeds, the 2 big spenders, the 2 teams with all the marquee men. And who do you think is going to come out on top in this early season battle?
I think I've veered backwards and forwards on this one, and I'm thinking. I wrote it down earlier, and I'm wavering now. But no, stick with your gut. I'm going to say Warrington are just going to come out on top here. Leeds have probably got more changes. Probably still a little bit of bedding in to do. So Warrington by 8.
I've got exactly the same. Wire by 8. I just sort of think that when it comes down to it, this Warrington team are probably just a bit more ready to finish a game, to close out a game, than this Leeds team right now. The Leeds team are still coming together with a new coach. Warrington are just bringing in one exceptional part to or 2 exceptional parts, I suppose, to the team. So I think Warrington by 8 as well. Okay, Super League's final game is on Sunday afternoon, 3 p.m. But for many, we're saving the most special game to last because it's the return of the London Broncos to the top table of Super League, and they're hosting the Wakefield Trinity side. And I've got a sneak here. I think London might do it. I just think that I think that Danny Ward's going to get these guys really in the right frame of mind. They're going to be relaxed. They're going to enjoy themselves. They're going to play tough, though. They're going to play passionately, and they're going to do it for themselves, do it for the fans. I'm going to go London by 4.
I had London by 2. I have absolutely no idea why. Because everything should tell both of us that this is a Wakey win, but for some reason we've both gone the same way. So yeah, let's go with that. London by 2.
So we've only gone different in the Wigan game.
Just the Wigan game, yeah.
And I nearly went St Helens. In fact, a week ago I would have gone St Helens. I've swung round in the last 8-9 days, let's say. But yeah, I think it's going to be an exciting opening round. It's a shame that we didn't pick more differently to give more excitement between us there. But maybe what we'll do is put polls out for each of the games and see whether if the listeners agree with us or not. We'll do that later on in the week. And see how we get on. Let us know if you think we're complete clowns for going for London against Wakefield on the return.
Entirely possible.
But we will see. Championship game of the week, Al, and I've selected this to stay impartial, but I have actually pulled out the Bradford Bulls game, Bradford versus Featherstone. I think it's really crucial game. That's going to be an indicator, even this early on, as to where this season might roll out for both these two sides. And we've talked a lot about the Championship on this show, and we've talked quite a bit about both these two sides. But for me, Bradford are coming into this game in better shape, all them pre-season games, and everyone's been playing in them, whereas Featherstone have still got people just rocking up.